Welcome to Coatings Decoded. I'm Jack Walker, and today we're diving into something that doesn't get a lot of attention. That is, until it costs you big. I'm talking about condensation in marine vessels. Sweat is for the gym, not your bulkheads. The condensation can be so bad on the inside of a ship that it's sweatier than a hipster at a flannel convention. Condensation isn't just a nuisance, it's a corrosion accelerant, a hidden maintenance time bomb, and it ruins your insulation system from the inside out. Standard insulation hides the problem. In some cases, the rust's been hiding under there so long that it's started a blog. Dear Diary, day 734, still not caught. Morale is high, steel is low. But that's why we're launching into something new. Aerolon Marine Series 972, a spray-applied anti-condensation coating purpose-built to stop condensation from where it starts. Joining me today are two of our top technical experts. Andy Marguerite is our Director of Sales for the Marine Market, and Andy Hoffman, Director of Insulation and Specialty Products. Let's start with the basics. Andy Hoffman explains what is Aerolon and what makes it different.
Really, Aerolon has kind of established itself as the kind of premier brand in the anti-condensation coating space. A lot of existing products are formulating with ceramic or microspheres, where Tnemec is utilizing advanced porous materials as the insulating particles, so it allows Tnemec to get thermal properties far better than any coatings that are out there now.
That's the game changer. It's not just about being a coating, it's about delivering real insulation properties through a modern chemistry approach. And it's not new to the world, but it's new to marine. Now we're applying it to ships, barges, and offshore structures where thermal efficiency and condensation control matter most. Let's talk about why that matters.
When you have those big temperature swings, condensation is always going to be an issue on these vessels. The thing is, a lot of times you don't see the condensation. It's behind the bulkheads, behind the insulation, and you really don't know it's an issue until it becomes severe.
It's invisible until it's not. That moisture creeps in quietly and brings corrosion, mold, health risks, and costly repairs. Aerolon's job is simple. Raise the surface temperature just enough to stay above the dew point. No beads of water, no moisture hidden behind the mineral wool. Think of Aerolon as antiperspirant for your vessel's interior. Since your vessel sweats as much as your drunk uncle in a pickup basketball game. But it's more than a standalone protection. It's really a crucial part of a smartly designed system.
If you put a coating like this on the interior of that exterior side shell of the vessel, you can lower those steel temperatures down to probably closer to 90 degrees. So you get that 1 + 1 = 4 effect.
That's the power of a duplex system. Traditional insulation plus Aerolon equals better total system performance. You reduce the heat load before it hits the insulation. That means the insulation works more efficiently and stays dry. The combination of Aerolon and standard insulation really is the two things at once that Travis Kelce talks about all the time.
Anytime you add moisture content into conventional insulation, mineral wool, fiberglass, you're really reducing the performance. I believe that the number is, if you add 5% moisture content into a fiber type insulation, you're reducing the thermal conductivity by almost 24 times.
24 times. Moisture reduces the thermal conductivity by almost 24 times. And that's before we even talk about what happens when it freezes or traps salts. Moisture kills R value and drives CUI. That's corrosion under insulation, right? So keeping the insulation dry isn't just a bonus, it's the whole ball game. The application properties of Aerolon make it favorable to any applicator.
Basically using texture sprayers, so it's something as simple as a handheld hopper gun for real small areas. You can go get at your local Lowe's or Home Depot for $70 and a little pancake compressor, or on a bigger scale, we'll do texture sprayers that spray ceiling texture, drywall mud, that type of thing. Very inexpensive equipment. 15, 20 gallon hopper on these things. A lot of times they're just plug them in and electric and go. Very, very simple application, very unsophisticated equipment.
And you can build more thickness per coat with Aerolon as opposed to the more traditional insulative coatings. This improves job throughput, efficiency, and really makes life easier on the applicator.
In addition to that, we're able to build it 2.5 times thicker per coat, so we're more efficient. We can build it higher, so we can provide a solution to owners that are often saving time and money.
This is where Aerolon shines for the applicator. No high-pressure airless sprayers, no complicated spray rigs, no 5-coat circus. One of the key differences between Aerolon Marine and many of the traditional insulative coatings is how they achieve their thermal performance. Many older technologies rely on ceramic microspheres mixed into the coating. Aerolon uses an advanced porous insulating materials instead. That distinction becomes especially important during application because the spray process itself can impact the insulating particles in some of the more conventional coatings. Here's Andy Marguerite.
When you're spraying those ceramic sphere products at high pressures, those older technologies with those ceramic spheres, they're very thin-walled spheres that they're using on those. Mm-hmm. So when you put them under pressure on an airless sprayer and you spray that onto a bulkhead, you're breaking a significant amount of those particles as they're laying on there. Mm-hmm. So where a coating like that may produce a K value on paper of whatever it may be, by the time it's sprayed, put through an airless compressor, and put on that bulkhead, that K value is significantly higher, meaning a less performance.
With Aerolon, the material's thermal properties stay intact, and the crew gets to move on quicker. Due to its spray-applied nature, Aerolon is great for insulating complex geometries, and that application characteristic translates to performance in the field. We've talked about condensation, we've talked about keeping the insulation dry, and we've talked about preventing corrosion under insulation. But the real test isn't what happens on a data sheet or right after an application. It's what happens years later when the insulation comes off and the steel is finally exposed. Andy shares a real-world example of what that can look like.
These geometries that you're putting on the inside of the boat, you have the flats, the stiffeners, the angles, you have a lot of turns and stuff. It's a complex geometry as far as what we're doing.
Yep.
So when you can go in and spray Aerolon at 50, 60 mils, you're now putting a seamless membrane and protecting that steel. You're protecting the stiffeners, you're protecting the flats, all those turns. You now have a seamless membrane in there also protecting against corrosion. One of the earliest boats I did years ago, it had came in for its 20-year repower. They pulled down all the insulation on that. And typically you see, especially the angles are all rusted out and the flats are full of corrosion. There wasn't an ounce of corrosion anywhere that these types of coatings are used. So it really does have a not only a performance benefit as far as the insulation, but a maintenance benefit when they pull these boats in for their refits later on in life.
That's years of protection with visible, measurable payoff. Steel that still looks new under the insulation. That's a rare thing, and it speaks to the product's long-term value. Long-term protection is great, but vessel owners also want to know that they're getting the most performance possible from every mil they apply. And that's where thermal conductivity and improved thicknesses become more important, Andy explains.
Aerolon Marine is approved up to 150 mils. So when you even look at it at our lower thermal conductivity, we give the performance of well over 200 mils that we can go onto these boats. Where you look at a lot of the competition, they max out at almost half that amount.
150 mils of approval from the Coast Guard and IMO. That's as thick as you'll need. And with its better K value, Aerolon delivers more insulation at less thickness than traditional ceramic coatings. And since it's bonded directly to the steel, it helps fight CUI too. Let's sum this up. Aerolon Marine provides a thermal break, reduces condensation, it keeps insulation dry, it installs quicker than the competition, prevents corrosion, and lowers the overall life cycle maintenance costs. Whether you're managing a fleet or specifying coatings for marine vessels, this product was built for marine and offshore environments where moisture never sleeps. With all the great benefits from Aerolon Marine, I do not know how you cannot consider this for reducing condensation in your marine vessels. If you like this new format of Coatings Decoded, Look forward to season 2 coming out soon. We're going to be bringing you lots more information and hopefully provide some thought leadership and education in this industry. So until next time, I'm Jack Walker. This has been Coatings Decoded, the Paint People's podcast, where the only thing sweating is the science.